Okay, so this video is about a little bit about using poppets. You can get really involved when using poppets. There's different types of textiles you can use and everything, and there's different sorts of spell work or crafting that you can do with them. I'm going to share 3 different types that I have with me right now. 2 of them which I make, and one that I actually got from Lodestone and Ladies Mantle. They're one of my favorite little Etsy shops. I know they have a regular online shop as well. But to begin with poppets, this thing keeps popping up. With poppets, I like using them because when you craft them yourself, you can put your intent in from the beginning, and it's something that that I don't burn or throw away or anything. So it's like a constant reminder because I keep it with me. I mean, there's depending on what type of spell you want to use, you can bury a poppet or burn it or throw it in water. But usually my spells don't have anything that I want to get rid of. Usually it's like sort of like a sympathetic magic for healing or drawing something to me. So I don't want to really get rid of that until I'm done. Then I'll do something like that. But some people will connect a person to the puppet and then form some sort of spell like that. And we can get into spells like that later. I just want to share poppets with you. And then I'm also going to make a video on how to make my Scandinavian yarn dolls later. I might as well share the first poppet. Or it's it's not a poppet, it's like a little voodoo doll that Lodestone and Ladies Mantle make. And they make males and females. I got a little male from them. It's a beeswax voodoo doll sort of thing. I don't really like calling them voodoo dolls, even though I think when I bought this one, it's actually called a voodoo doll. I have to check. I'll put a link up to their site again. Because then it has like this bad connection with it. Everyone's like, ooh, voodoo's bad, voodoo's this. I'm like, it doesn't really have a negative connotation for me. It's just a different sort of path, different culture connected to it and everything. But I don't know why I bought this. I know I bought some other stuff from them, and this just kind of like stuck out like I needed to get it. But then I haven't used it yet, so I think I'm just supposed to keep it on hand. But I kind of like wanted it just because it's like the novelty of it, having a beeswax voodoo doll. And maybe somebody pissed me off and I'll use it on them. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not really malicious like that. Another type of doll that's falling, I wanted to share with you, is my Scandinavian yarn poppets. These aren't really traditional the way I make them, because I make the body a little bit different. It looks similar, but it's constructed differently, and I also try to add hair and everything to make them more, so you can tell the gender easier. And people don't really like bald-looking dolls when they're trying to make the doll look like their grandmother or something when they're trying to heal her. So here's one that I make, and I like doing solid colors because you can use corporate color magic into it as well. And with these ones, I sell them plain like this, but they're easily pulled apart to stick herbs inside. If you anoint oils with it, it's going to absorb the oils and like you can smell it and keep it on there. They're really useful. Different types of things you can do with them. I suppose if you wanted to be malicious, you could stick pins in them that stay in the body part because this is tightly wound together. But I don't really sell them for that purpose. But once it's out of my hands, you do what you will with it. Let me get some more. Here's a male made out of entirely black yarn. You could use this one for banishing, or I usually see black as like void in drawing something from the void. So if you're not sure that you really want, or if something doesn't else, some other color or something doesn't really work for you, I always use black, and I try to think of it coming out of there, trying to draw something to me, or to reach out and sort of try and decipher some sort of mysteries that you're working with. So those are my yarn poppets. These are the regular size poppets I make. You can see the comparison of this, the size of it. My hands are really big. Okay, so never mind. I have big man hands. I also make twine ones. I call these my garden guardians because I'll take a stick or a stake and either pull it in the back right here and stick it underneath this, or I'll stick it up here. But that kind of looks bad if it's sitting in your garden. And I made these so that they can wear away in your garden because it takes a while. Like it'll get weathered, and it looks pretty cool when it starts to weather, especially the girl ones because their legs are unbound, so the frills at the end start to like turn out and curl. And I like the twine better than the yarn. It looks nicer in your garden. I also make miniature sized ones. I made them for Yule, and I think I have to get up to grab one. So give me a second. So I usually make them for Yule, so you can hang it from your tree. But they're good all year. You can use them all year, so I sell them all year. And there's some colors on my Etsy site, but I can always do more. And these are more traditional because even the women don't have the hair and everything, and they're constructed more traditionally as well. But I like these ones, so you can keep them in your purse, hang them in your office, your house, in your car, keep them around. And these, they don't have as much body to stick anything into, but you can still work with them. I've also made the type of poppets where you will cut the outside of cloth and then you'll sew the edges together. But mine always kind of funky, and I'm sort of a perfectionist in some things. So when they're not like perfectly shaped on each side, I get kind of annoyed. So then I don't really use them. But those are good if you're doing it, not if you're buying one to use, because then I'd want to rip it apart and stuff inside like herbs and everything. And I know a lot of people will stuff theirs with Spanish moss or like some herbs and cotton so they don't waste a bunch of herbs. And but those are usually for like, I'd only use those if you're making it for yourself. I wouldn't really buy one. Unless it has a specific intent already, then I guess it's okay. But I always like to put a piece of myself in my poppets. If I'm making them for me, like I'll put a piece of my hair or nail clippings or something of that nature. If we're making them for somebody else, I'd try to get a piece of them to stick in it as well. I also make bosom buddies. I haven't made them in a while, but I really should start making them again because I love them. They're just time consuming. I make them out of felt, and you just get felt embroidery thread and an embroidery needle, and it takes no time at all. I should do a video on how to make them. And they're absolutely fabulous because I call them bosom buddies because I was making this, most of my people that buy from me are women. So small enough that you can keep them on you and stick them into your bra for later, keep them so you can keep the scent near you as well. And then, but men can use them too. Stick in your pocket or something. And those are just like the other poppets that you sew together. I'll take 2 pieces of cloth or felt, or I'll fold it in half. Then I'll cut the shape out. And instead of like folding it and sewing it and then turning it inside out, I don't know if you sew, or any of you sew or not, but instead of sewing the outside and then turning it inside out so that the edges are smooth, like in a pillowcase, I just go through the sides and sew it. And it kind of has like this little funky, rustic-y feel. Those are kind of my favorites, other than the Scandinavian yarn dolls. And I actually learned how to make these at a Victorian day camp in Lake Tahoe at Camp Richardson. And then later I did more research on poppets and kind of found out more about them and connected them to Scandinavian yarn dolls. So that's just a little information and showing you some different types of poppets. And I'll probably do one, since I'm going to start doing classes soon, I'm going to do a class on poppet making probably in April. So I'll probably do a video as well just to show everyone else how to construct them. They're fairly easy. It's just when I do them, I sort of try and go into like a little trance thing, so they take a long time for me to create them. But I could probably show you the basics on here soon. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching.